Welcome to the second episode of JRR. In the previous episode I fixed a small bug in the sound. In this episode I'm just going to run you through how I added another object to the game, which specifically was the mothership. In the original Space Invaders, you might remember the mothership scrolled across the top of the screen from left to right, and if the player shot at it they got a bonus. I think in the Atari version they may have even kidnapped the player ship, and if you shot the mothership then you got your ship back. Maybe that was Gallagher, I don't know. Let's have a look. I'll briefly take you through it. It wasn't hard to do. First of all, I had to add the mothership object to the level manager. Now the level manager, it does just that. It loads every object into the level that you need in there. The mothership, the invaders, the player, the bullets, everything is handled by the level manager. Next up was the mothership update component. Now this is a very simple file. It's basically a stripped down version of the invader update component. Let me have a quick look for that. So that's the invader update component. The mothership update component only has a very small portion of that. The speed and the direction it's moving in, and it just passes through its information through to the transform and the collider components. The CPP file accompanying that is even simpler still. It gets the location and multiplies it by the adds the speed multiplied by frames per second, just to update the mothership location as it moves across the screen. Accompanying that is the collider, which is a box around the mothership that the bullets hit. So they don't actually hit the graphics, they hit the collider box, and that's how it knows that a bullet has strong word, has hit the mothership and killed it. The game object play mode was a pretty simple update also. This one just ensured that the component, the mothership update component, which is this one here in the level manager, was in fact included in the game. Nothing too complicated there to make it work. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, but we won't worry about that until I make another game sometime. And the physics engine play mode, again, this was really simple. I just needed to ensure that the bullets knew when they collided with the mothership. So that was already happening here. The check was going on to see if the player bullets collided with the invader. So I just added another small bit of code here. It used to just be, is the invader active? Is it an invader type? And if so, then run through all the bullets and see if they actually hit. Now it's saying, is it an invader type or is it a mothership type? And if so, just keep running through the bullets and see if any of them hit them, or hit the collider that belongs to it. And then further down, the score used to be just a basic incrementation every time the player hit an invader. Now I had to do a quick check to see if it was an invader or the mothership they hit, and if it's the mothership, give them a bonus, in this case 200. So you don't want to miss that mothership. Definitely don't want to miss that. We'll have that's all that had to be done in the file, was to add a new object to the game. That's how good this game engine is. I mean, it's a basic game engine, but it's really simple and good to use for making your own games. Let's have a real quick play of this now. You'll see as we go, it's still not complete. So there's our mothership up the top. You can barely see it, so I need to fix that. And I think my volume's up a bit too loud there. And it spawns right at the same time, right at the start of the game. We don't want it spawning at the start of the game. We only want it to spawn when the player hits a certain score, or maybe even randomly, but definitely not here at the very beginning. There's a lot of other changes that need to be made. But I'll get on and start making those changes now. So thanks again for tuning in. See you with the next update.